today I want to share with you an exercise I came up with that's really going to help your left and right hand syncopation. This is really going to let you know where you stand with your rhythm playing and your ability to change chords quickly and accurately, and it's just going to be a good way to work on your timing and your rhythm and just be able to move quickly through chord changes going up and down the neck. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing an A7 sharp 9, an A9, an A6, and then we're going to walk up these diminished patterns, right? As you know, that diminished trick, every time you move up 3 frets, the notes just flip around, but they stay the same. So that's what we're going to do, and it's really going to be working on your right hand rhythm, strumming 16th notes and 8th notes, and just being able to move across the fretboard in a pretty quick way. So we're going to start out. The right hand is never going to stop. Alright, now you can kind of play around with this, make it your own kind of rhythm and timing, however you want to do it. But we're going to start out with this A7 sharp 9. We're going to have 7 on D, 6 on G, then have B and E on the 8th fret. I kind of just go down, down, up, down. And then just give it a little slap. And then I'll do these little pickup notes in between just to keep the rhythm going. And I'll just give it 2 little muted hits in between. Okay, then we're going to change into an A9. Okay, this is a good change to work on. Some of you, this may be the first time you're playing something like this, and you may have trouble switching with your ring and pinky finger. So we're going to work on it going down from the A7 sharp 9 to the A9. And when we walk back up from the diminished chord, we're going to flip it around, and then we're going to go from A9 to A7 sharp 9, just to get it, you know, forwards and backwards. Always play everything forwards and backwards that you learn, right? So after we go to this A7 sharp 9, we're going to go to A9, D on 7, 8 or 6 on G, and then we're going to have 8 on the B string and 7 on the high E string. All right. We're going to go to an A6 chord. It's a good chord to know, always useful in the blues. Alright, so we're going to start out 7 on D, 6 on G, 7 on B, 5 on the high E. And then we're just going to go back a half step, A flat 6 or G sharp 6, however you want to look at it. And then we're going to go back to A6 and just slide off, alright? Alright, so we have... Alright, so then after you do your A6 chords, we're going to walk back up in reverse, okay? We're going to play our A9 first and then our A7 sharp 9. So you're going to do those muted hits to get into the A9. Okay, just kind of slide off of it. And then we're going to have 7 on D, 6 on G, 8 on B, 7 on the E string. And then after you do your down, up, down, give it those 2 muted hits. And then go to your A9, 7 on D, 6 on G, B and E on 8. Alright, and then give it 2 muted hits, and that'll lead us into our first diminished chord again, right? Okay, so these diminished chords are actually going to be diminished 7th chords. So whenever you play this shape, you're going to diminish 7th chord shape. And basically you just have your root, your minor third, your flat 5, and your 7 will be flatted twice. So it's like a double flat 7, okay? And you could refer to these in different names. You could call this first one, your root will be on the D string each time. So you could call this an E flat diminished 7, an F sharp diminished 7, your A diminished 7, your C diminished 7, and then just keeps repeating back again, right? But since we're resolving back to A each time, I'm just going to refer to it as A diminished 7, or call it A diminished throughout the lesson, just to make it easier. And every time we play these diminished patterns, you know, there's that 3 fret rule with diminished. Every time you move it up 3 frets, you're going to have the same notes. They're all going to repeat. It's just going to change the root note on the bottom. So as we walk up, we're going to do, each time we do this, we're going to do a pattern of 4. And we're going to do down, up on the first 3, just the 16th note, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then the last one, just an 8th note, down, up, okay? Alright, so when you play it faster, it just kind of gives it that kind of funky groove. And this is a good thing to practice. It'll help you get your right and left hand syncopated and be able to move through those changes faster. So that'll be our first sequence. We're going to have 1 on the D string, 2 on the G string, 1 on the B string, and 2 on the high E string. Alright. And a way you can remember this is just count in your head odd groupings of 3. Just 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, right? So wherever we start, just count up in 3s. So you have 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19. Same thing, we start on next pattern on 4, you just go 4, 7, 10, 13, and so on, right? So after we do our first A diminished, the next one will be up here on the 4th and 5th fret. You're going to have D on 4, 5 on G, B on 4, and 5 on E. Okay, both of these will be down, up, down, up. And I just slide straight into them. Alright, and then from here, we'll go up to the 7th fret, and we'll play 7 on D, 8 on G, 7 on B, and 8 on the E string. This will be our last 16th note, down, up, down, up. Okay, then we'll walk up to the 10th fret and just do down, up. And that'll finish our sequence there. Okay, and after you get into that, you want to get right back into your A7 sharp 9 where we started. Okay, there's not going to be any down hits or pops in between. We're just going to go straight from the last diminished chord right back into our A7 sharp 9. So our first sequence we have okay, then we're just going to repeat the same thing again. I'll put the chords on the screen, but I'm not going to break down every chord since they're going to be the same 3 chords every time. You have your A7 sharp 9 to your A9, A6, back to your A9, A7 sharp 9, and then we're going to start on the 4th fret and then count up again in 3s, 4, 7, 10, 13. Same thing here, we have 4th fret on D, 5 on G, 4 on B, and 5 on the high E string. Same pattern every time, 16th notes for the first 3 and just a down up 8th note for the last one. Okay, so after your A diminished here, we'll go to the 7th fret, 7D, 8G, 7B, 8 on the high E. Okay, then we'll walk up to the 10th fret, do the same thing, 10 on D, 11G, 10B, and then 11 on the high E. Okay, then we'll go up to 14. We'll have 14 on the D string, 13 on the D string, 14 on G, 13 on B, and 14 on E. Alright, so we have okay, that'll be your 8th note. And then we go back and repeat our chords again, okay? This time we're going to start on the 7th fret, and we're going to walk all the way up to the 16th fret. Just have 7 on D, 8 on G, 7 on B, 8 on the E string. Same pattern, 16th notes. And then walk up to 10. Then we have 10 on D, 11 on G, 10 on B, and then 10 on the high E string. Another down, up, down, up. Go up 3 frets to the 13th fret. Another down, up, down, up. You have 13 on D, 14 G, 13 B, 14 on E. Okay, then we're going to walk up another 3 frets to 16. And we'll have 16 on D, 17 on G, 16 on B, 17 on the E string. As you get up to these higher frets, it helps if you, instead of being straight ahead like this, tilt your hand right down towards the ground. Tilt your pinky down towards the ground as you're fretting those, right? And kind of turn it to the left. It'll help you get up on these higher frets, right? Okay, so those are the first 3, right? So we have last one, we're going to go back, play our A7 sharp 9 to our A9 again, to our A6s. Alright, and then walk back up, A9, A7 sharp 9. And the last set of diminished chords, we're going to go 10, 13, 16, 19. Okay, this 19 is a little tricky. That's why it helps if you tilt your hand with your pinky down towards the floor, like I was saying. So we start out here, 10 on D, 11 on G, 10 on B, and 11 on E. Same sequence. First 3 are 16th notes, the last one's just a down up. Then we have 13 on D, 14 on G, 13 on B, and 14 on E. Then we go up 3 frets again to 16. We have 16 D, 17 G, 16 on B, 17 on E. Okay, then we get up here, we're up on 19 and 20. We have 19 on D, 20 on G, 19 B, 20 on E. Okay, just a down up there. Alright, so you'll have Alright, so let's go over everything real slow. We'll go through all 4 sequences, and I'll just play the rhythm part with the right hand a little bit slower. So we have Alright, so that's the whole exercise, and if you just get into it, you're going to see what I'm talking about, that if you're not used to playing these types of things, you're going to be able to see where you struggle, and just sit there and break it down and play it over and over again. Okay, like if you have trouble making this change with your ring and pinky finger, just sit there over and over, back and forth. Right, you'll have that in a day or two if you just sit there. Alright, and just work on that rhythm. Work on popping the strings. You know, you can just sit there and just work on 2 chords. You can just sit there on a G chord all day and just... Alright, you can just sit there and just do that all day long with the metronome. Just down, up, down, up, down, up, and just start increasing your speed. Get used to kind of doing that tremolo strumming, and that'll help get your right hand rhythm a little bit faster and more syncopated with your left hand as you start moving through changes, right? So that's everything. It's a cool little exercise, give you some little funky things to work on. You can start throwing in those diminished phrases in your blues. They work great in any kind of shuffle or turnaround type of style, and that's it, right? So just practice slow, have fun. I'll see you next time.